Hi, my name is Daphne, and today we are actually starting some seeds, namely the peppers, because I must get them like germinated in February. And I'm not exactly sure why I waited so long to actually do this. For at least 5 years now, I've been germinating the peppers with the tomatoes in March, and they're always very, very late to fruit. And so I'm going to get a jump start on peppers this year. And the Farmer's Almanac and every other gardener in Ohio that has a website or some type of post has always said to start peppers in February. Anyway, so because they're notoriously slow germinators, they take forever to germinate. So I do have some heating mats for that. And then they also are very, very slow growing. So in order for me to actually have some type of productive harvest, even though I'm only growing cayenne peppers and Thai peppers, and bell peppers too, I do actually want to start them as early as possible in February. So we'll be starting those today on heating mats, and then I also will be starting a few herbs, namely some rosemary, some more lavender because I have a space for it, some tulsi. I'm also going to start my bergamot today as well, because I will start the chamomile today, because chamomile also notorious for being a very, very, very slow grower, and it takes forever to grow once it actually germinates. So the majority of the herbs will actually be germinated within strawberry containers. They're free. Once you eat the strawberries, I literally just I rinse them out and just stack the containers in the garage until I need them. So do not throw away your strawberry containers. They're very helpful. So I already rinsed those out. I already cleaned out everything I will be using for this month and next month to germinate. So they're actually drying in the driveway, so I know the neighbors kind of think I'm crazy because it's February, but it's a good day because it is 60 degrees, the sun is somewhat out, the snow has melted, it is completely gone. So and that won't last for long. We probably have some coming next month or next week, but and not hating on the snow, because the snow is good. The freeze is good to kill all of the little buggies you don't want in your garden space, right? But it's a beautiful day out, so why in the world would I be indoors when I can just be outside and enjoy all of the lusciousness of the Ohio surprise beautiful day in the middle of February. So, but anyway, let's go inside the house so that we can germinate some seeds. I'm thoroughly excited. So let's go. So I have some strawberry containers, which I literally just sit in the garage, and I rinse them out, let them sit in the garage until I need them. And then the benefit of strawberry containers is that they do have already the cutouts on the side, so you don't have to necessarily worry about like drainage issues. I have my water basins already washed out and ready to go. Small containers, even though I'm not using those until about March or April. Germinating towers here, and I do love these. I've always kind of just purchased them year after year, but these are a little more expensive. They were like $13 at Menards, but they are worth the cost. Not sponsored, but they are worth the cost if you can get them, as well as some very heavy duty watering basins as well, because you can actually wash these. And so I did clean these out the best I can. Obviously not a necessity for you to do that, but if you do see that some of your young sprouts are actually having some fungal issues or some disease issues early, then the one thing that you can do just to rule out whether or not it's your own stuff is to actually wash out your germinating stations every couple of years, on top of just making sure you get a good brand of like potting soil. And I mean, anything else outside of that is outside of your control, really. Maybe your water source, check that out. But definitely did wash these out as well. But for today, most of the seeds I will actually be starting in the strawberry containers, just because when you're growing something like chamomile that are very, very small seeds, I don't grow them in here directly. I actually transplant them into larger containers later on once they've gotten up some size. But this actually operates as like a humidity dome, which is cheaper because they're selling you those things for like $13 when you literally have these in your refrigerator and all you have to do is wash them out. So you have your homemade humidity dome, which is good to germinate very, very small seeds like lavender and chamomile. The only thing is you just want to lightly cover them and then kind of just press your hands into the soil. I have my humidity domes, we have some gloves, we have a little shovel here, a little water spritzer, you're going to need that, and then behind me I actually have some watering trays, and I do have some seed warming. I have some warmers as well, which are a necessity for my peppers. So my peppers, I'm actually not starting in the germinating containers, and I'm not starting those in the strawberry containers. I'm actually starting those in Ziploc bags. The reason for that is because peppers are notorious for being very, very difficult to germinate, even if you do have very fresh seeds. These are not so fresh. They're from 2021. They still work though, but I did actually germinate all of them. Well, I have all of them that I have left in this container because I know that the germination rate actually does decide to go down the older the seeds are. So they're in a Ziploc bag. I literally just wrote the name of what the seeds are on here. And I'm going to sit this directly on top of the heating pad, and that'll allow for it to germinate. And then if I do see a seed that has already sprouted a root, I'll take a small tweezers, I'll take it off of the paper towel immediately, and I'll plop it inside of these germinating containers with some potting mix, and I'll sit this directly on the heating pad. The one thing about peppers specifically is that you don't want to put them in the big containers as of yet, because even as a small little sprout, they do still require heat in order to fully grow, or they'll go dormant. And you won't see them for a long time pop out of the soil. So peppers are a little finicky. So I have heating station set up behind me, and then this watering basin, I actually flip it over and put it directly on top just to trap in some of the heat. And I'm only really going to do that for the peppers. Everyone else should be pretty cool. So right now I'm actually germinating all of my salad greens because I at least want them to be in the house for a month. And then in March, like mid-March, early April, probably mid-March, I'll transfer them out into the raised bed. And I'm actually going to put a plastic covering over them just to like protect them from the frost. And they did so well 2 years ago when I did that. I just have to double layer it because we can get a blizzard up to like the last week of April, so they won't survive that. But in any case, today I'm actually germinating some Marlow lettuce, some Mizuna lettuce leaf basil, which I'm so happy about. Basil is notorious for being very, very slow to grow. So I actually do want to try this year to germinate all of my basil in February and see what the harvest looks like throughout the year. I have chamomile and lavender, sweet marjoram, white sage and regular sage, and also tulsi as my herbs. Because most herbs take a while to germinate and a while to grow anyway, specifically the sages. I know that they're going to take a minute. And tulsi is a basil, but it does also take forever to germinate as well. And these are saved seed from last season. It's about as fresh as you can get them in terms of seed, but it's still going to take forever. So I'm actually, there's a huge amount of seeds in here, but I'm actually going to germinate all of these. Because I'm not exactly sure what percentage of this is seed and what percentage of this is actually just like plant fluff. So we shall see. But all of those are going to be germinating in separate containers. So do that. And I've seen a few videos of a few people starting seeds, but I haven't seen anyone in Ohio yet, so I know I'm a little early. But I just couldn't wait. I was just actually thoroughly excited to get started. It's just, you know, with the winter blues and everything, you kind of, you know, you're itching to put something in the ground and touch some dirt. So dinosaur, kale, I think that's it. Yep. So I have that. And then I'm just gonna put some gloves on here because you're gonna have to press these in. And then set the station up. I'm just gonna take some seed starting mix. And I don't think I mentioned this, but it's literally just coconut coir and some perlite. And then I have some plastic on the floor here. It's literally just some plastic I brought from Big Lots. I use it for my son when he's doing his art projects at home. So dual purpose, has some paint on it, some marker on it, and it works perfectly with soil too. So multi-use plastic here. And we're just going to fill up all of these. Alright, so now once I have all of the soil in place, then I literally just take my finger and press each one of these down. Which is another reason why you should probably invest in a decent germinating station. Because when I used to do these, well, germinating thing, because when I used to have just the regular plastic ones, like the one season germinating trays, I would do this and I would literally just like press a hole at the bottom of these, and like it would like the soil would just fall out when it got wet. So but you kind of need to do this just to make sure that like you have a very firm root structure when things do start to germinate in here. So you want to give these a good spritz. So and then I'm going to sit them over a basin of water, and they'll bottom water. But you do want to make sure the soil is at least a little damp. Alright, and then I'm going to poke a little hole. Seeds are tiny, very tiny. So this is the Merlot. So we're just going to drop the few in there. Get in there. It's another reason why I'm not necessarily interested in buying a whole lot of seeds this year, because I mean, you get so many seeds in a pack, especially with lettuce seeds. You get so many seeds in a pack. Do you really need that many seeds? You cannot grow that much food. But I've already planted a seed in there. And then once I plant the entire row, I'll give it another spritz, and then I'm going to bottom water this, and literally I'm gonna put a lid on it. So the next one is Mizuna. Give it a shake. Usually not much in here. Then I have to save seeds for this one. And I have found that it's best to only save 1 or 2 types of seed a year. That way you don't have any cross-pollination. I saved seeds about 2 years ago, but there was so many different varieties of things that were growing and had also went to seed at the exact same time that I can't trust the seeds to be true seeds. That's why I've actually gone back to the original packaging this year. So I have enough Paris Island lettuce seeds, I have enough bok choy and kale, so the only thing I might actually save seeds for, if it's healthy, is the Mizuna. And then that way I know it hasn't been cross-pollinated. I go through the list and actually just finish the rest of these. As mentioned, some is going to go in the strawberry containers, and the peppers are actually going to go here underneath the germination mats. And for the next few days, we're just going to check up on the seeds, and I'll give you guys an update on the germination of the peppers. Cross my fingers on that. They are very old seed. But I hope you guys are starting something this month, because it like warms your spirit to be able to do that. And do not underestimate painter's plastic. This stuff is thick, and the same plastic that I actually am sitting on right now to catch all of the dirt and debris from this which is going to turn into a nice mess soon. Same plastic I'm actually going to wrap over the raised garden bed, and hopefully don't have a full-blown vole infestation, because it's always usually about 20 to 30 degrees warmer inside of that container, inside of that area, than it is on the outside. Cross my fingers I don't make it worse. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a great day, and happy germinating. Peace.